Hey, what's going on, my Western World One community? Hey, check it out, man. I just want to talk about the Illinois Safe T Act. That's Safe T Act, which everyone is calling it the purge, and no cash bail will be in effect starting January 1st, 2023. Now, I'm going to read some of the things. Actually, I'm going to give the credit to this actual article. I believe it's Snopes.com. That's Nopes.com. I'm gonna read a little bit of that, and then we could dive into what's going on. And plus, I have a little story to tell you about someone that had told me what was going on with them and why the Safety Act is pretty much good with the no cash bail for non-detainable before trial. I'll tell you that story too. But just diving into it a little bit, okay? All right, here we go. All right, it is claimed that Illinois passed the Safety Act, which will go in effect January 2023 and will make some violent crimes, including murder, homicide, non detainable offenses prior to trial, which means criminals will be released without bail. And this is why everyone is saying, like, oh man, here come the purge. And, you know, they're going to be, you know, the criminals that's locked up, they're going to be freed and they're going to go back and they're going to, repeat the crime again. Then what's going to be the next thing with what's going on? Now, with this Illinois Safety Act, it has its pros and it has its cons. So, when this was written, they are not their Congress or the news, the media, I'm gonna say, was saying that they only have 45 minutes during that time to go over an 800-page uh, documents to assure what is good and what is bad. So they only have 45 minutes. But here's the thing: this was written last year. Now we're like 4 months away. This should have been discussed a long time ago. You understand what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden, now it's being discussed now, and everybody's making it an uproar. Now, what's really going on here? Like, I do believe into conspiracy theories, stuff like that. I am that person that will say, let me question this and see what's going on. What's going on behind the scenes of what this is, because this was just thrown out there out of nowhere. And I do believe, far as with the Safety Act, why you can see, far as law enforcement is walking off the jobs, or they're not putting on their cameras, because that goes into another criminal offense. I think it's like someone was saying it on. I seen it like on TikTok. I don't know how true this is, but it was a law enforcement officer. He was saying that he's not gonna allow his officers wear a body cam, because if something goes wrong with it and it automatically shut off for whatever reason, and it could be a default or anything, and if it shuts off and they can't prove it, that's a class 3 action. I believe it's a felony, and they could get prosecuted, and they could do serve jail time, instead of getting a slap on the wrist. And he's like, he didn't want to take that chance. I forget what county it was. It was part of Illinois. And so I'm looking at this whole situation, like what's true about this and what's false about this. Read some of what they say is true. All right. Now it says here, the Illinois Safety Act was signed into law in February 2021, last year, almost last year. Within that legislation, Perennial Fairness Act, which will go into effect January 2023. Again, we know, eliminating cash bail in a pretrial release decision. Now, what's false about this? So, So what they saying is, a lot of people have never been to jail. They don't even know what's the process. Well, you know what you see on the new on TV, or someone gets locked up and they get a cash bail saying, okay, they can either get an I bond or a D bond, and most people don't have it. So what they do is they're set in the county until it's time for the next court date. And the problem with that is, by that person sitting in jail, the person can lose, their house or apartment or whatever they're renting from, because the court date is so far out. They could lose their job. Um, if you got a car note, you could lose your car. And now, when that person does get out, they got to start over from scratch, and they could end up even being homeless and jobless. So that's why they trying to stop this. That's one of the reasons why they are stopping this. All right. Now let's see what's false. All right. While this act does aim to reduce the number of people detained in jail while they await trial, pretrial release can still be denied when any defendant poses a specific, real, and present threat to a person or the community. The act does not allow pretrial release without a judge considering the severity of that first case. So, still up under the judge's discretion. This is first time or her first time committing this crime. The severity of the crime, like how they have it up here. It says drug induced homicide, arson, aggravated battery, kidnapping, burglary, robbery, intimidation, aggravated DUI, aggravated fleeing and eluding, drug offenses, threatening a public official. So they look at how severe that any one of those crimes are, and they'll let you know if it's detainable or not. Now, when you look at, we'll say kidnapping, right? And I'll just say you have some domestic crimes, whereas the father or the mother won't let them see their child, and so what they do is they get them and they keep them for a couple of hours longer than what they supposed to keep them. Then the other person calls the police, and now this is considered, kidnapping. And I'm just going off of my perspective. This could be considered kidnapping. And then you do have the ones that will take their child and take them across the country and pose a threat to let you know that you won't see this child no more. Now, that is discretion. Okay, well, this person is a flight risk. This person is known to kidnap anyone. Since we know that this person is a flight risk and is known to kidnap anyone, then yeah, the judge will step in and say, well, no, we're going to hold him or her. This is a high risk here versus someone that has a kid maybe an hour or two over the time, and that person didn't call them back when they were supposed to. Then, they'll go in front of the judge, and the judge, they'll let them know, like, okay, well, yeah, even though we know that this was wrong, is this a flight risk or something like that? Now, you do have like some other things like burglary. Are they going to go back and commit the crime again? You got robbery. Okay. Now, what we looking at? What type of robbery? Strong arm robbery or somebody, a pocket thief? Now, what if it's a first time robber? A person robs a bank. I think that would be a high priority. So, yeah, I can imagine that person sitting in jail, waiting to trial because, committing that type of crime or versus, stealing a bag of chips out of the grocery store or the bodega or something like that. There's no cash bail policy. What does the law actually state? To explain, it is necessary to understand why there have been called to abolish cash bail for the first place. According to the Center of American Progress, 3 out of 5 people sitting in the U.S. jails have not been convicted of a crime. 3 out of 5, and they are saying that out of the 3 out of 5, most of them are minorities. African Americans, Latinos, is being convicted of this amount of crime. Now, nearly 500,000 people that are in jail cells before the trial. This is a part due to the cash bail system operated by most jurisdictions across the country that it describes the criminalized poverty. People who are unable to afford bail remains in detention while awaiting trial for weeks or months, like we just discussed earlier. And the effect of this process are felt mostly impoverished communities of color. This is called the ICJIA, Illinois Criminal Justice Information Authority, reported that 100 individuals who have bail bond hearing, 34 are detained pre-trial due to inability to pay cash. Wow, 34 out of 100. Nationwide in 2009. Covering the cost of the bail is too often. Now, they also are putting this here, and shout out to the family of Khalif Broder. I really don't like the name drop or anything like that, but if you don't know who Khalif Broder is, he was a person that was from New York. At the age of 16, he was held in Rikers Island for these years from 2010 to 2013 without being convicted of a charge that led his arrest because of his family couldn't come up with $3,000 to bail. Now, $3,000 might not sound a lot to you, family, but to me, and other people, that's a lot of money. He was accused for stealing a backpack. Then Broder killed himself 2 years later after his release from prison. So, when you think about this act here is needed. This will be, revised by the judge. So when you look at all this going up and down, no, I don't see a purge. As far as the police, if they walk off their jobs, it might be a little different there. It's section 110.1. All right. And this is where it says defendant who is charged with a foreseeable felony offense for which a sentence of imprisonment without probation, imprisonment, or conditional discharge is required by law upon conviction. And it is alleged that the defendant pretrial release poses a specific, real and present threat to any person or community. So they're gonna check it to see if it's foreseeable, if it's a foreseeable felony for this person, and they could hold him without bail until his next court date. So it's still up to the judge to do this. But I just wanted to know, or like you probably want to know as well. Why are they saying the purge? Why they keep stressing purge, the purge, the purge, the purge, the purge, and when it's indeed not the purge, but is it foreseeable? Because the law enforcement are willing to, some of them are saying that they'll walk off the job, if some of this stuff don't be changed. So I just want to know, do you think that this Safety Act is good, or do you think it's bad? I want to know. Comment below. Let me know what's going on, and we'll go from there. Other than that, I'll talk to you later. All right, and don't forget to go to westernworld1.com. It's a little tricky up there now, where we sell trucks. We'll be having real estate. There will be some comedy up there. You just have to click on the tab for what you're looking for, and bam, we in the building. All right, family. It's good talking to you. I know it's been a while. I'll be back and try to do more of these in due time. And don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and follow. Let everybody know. Let's conjure this up. Let's have more fun. Let's interact, okay? Man, share it. It's not gonna hurt. It's free. And if you want to donate to me, that's cool. If you want to, buy me a cup of coffee, a soda, a bottle of water, that's fine and dandy too. All right, till then, I'll talk to you later. Peace.